Hey everyone, Rachel here, answering a quick question from a mom who's struggling with a 13-year-old who is constantly angry with parents. So she says it's been going on for 2 years. Okay, 2 years, pandemic, maybe not surprising. But she says he's a completely different person when he leaves home than when he enters. And he seems to hate his parents. Sometimes he won't eat 3 meals or he won't go to school. And it's all because the mom and dad, I think, are strict with computer time. Apparently, all of his friends are allowed on computers whenever they want. Of course, like when they're going to compare themselves to their friends. They're a lot stricter with screen time, and he won't do anything else, and he behaves rudely to them. She's not sure how to handle all of this. They've had endless counselors with no success. They're trying to fill up his time with activities so he's not always on the screen. But he seems to have based his home life and his experience of it on whether or not he has the screens, and then everything goes around that as well. She's tried listening, being with non-judgment, trying to connect, but he's just not interested, and they end up fighting continuously. So this mom is looking for ideas and support. So I thought I'd field this question because I suspect a lot of you are dealing with something similar. And the way that I'm going to handle this actually is, I don't know this child. I don't know this parent very well, and it can be really hard for me to give advice not knowing the details, and also not knowing the strengths of the child. And I can share some universal tips, but I also always want you to take my tips kind of with a grain of salt, because it's when we work privately that we really dig into what is the customized parenting approach that's going to work here. But I want to give you two sort of reflection questions to ask yourself, and then I'm going to give you a couple of tips. So, the first thing to ask is, what are you doing with your son to build trust with him? What are you doing to show him that he matters and that he has a voice? And think about, what are the specific activities that you're doing, and are those the things that work for him? Because you may just be using an approach that doesn't work for him, given who he is in the world. So what are you doing to build that trust and show him that he has a voice, show him that he matters, and do those strategies work? So you might need to look at whether your strategies are effective in that area. Another question to ask yourself is, what feelings is he missing from his home life and from his social life, that if he had those feelings, it would make the world of difference to him and to the way he behaves? So what is missing? What feeling is missing? It could be that feeling of trust. It could be that feeling of autonomy. Could be that feeling of empowerment. I don't know. But what is the feeling that's missing for him? Do you think, take a guess at it, that you think would make a huge difference? And that's going to be a question that guides you on where to customize your parenting approach that's unique to him. Okay. That's where you want to start to look to uncover sort of what's at the root of his anger. So you're setting a clear boundary for him with screen time, but you might not be creating a relationship with him that's a two-way street, right? You guys have really clear boundaries, which is great, but we have to make sure that we are creating relationships inside of those boundaries as well, so that communication goes both ways, okay? You might be, in the way that you're approaching it, you might be giving away more power than you want to. I'm not sure, but maybe the way that you're responding, if he says, I hate you, maybe the way that you're responding is actually giving away your power as a parent. At the same time, you might be responding in a way, and these can happen simultaneously, in a way that you're taking his power away from him, right? So you may be taking away his power in the way that you create your family rules. And that disempowerment is a line in the sand for him. And now he's going to use that against you. He's going to use not coming to mealtime and being rageful and using hateful language to try to take control back from you. So he's feeling disempowered, and that would be a way like that his behavior is trying to show you that he's feeling that. So for the tips, one tip is going to be to share power with him. Without coaching you privately, I can't really say how that would look in your specific family. It really depends on us doing like a temperament and strengths analysis to try to figure out how, power sharing works in your family dynamic. The second tip is to consider how you might start getting to know him better by connecting with him. You said you connect with him, but I want you to connect with him more deeply around the things that he cares about, that it's sort of child-led connection. You want to try actually taking his point of view for a while so that you make sure that he doesn't feel alone in that point of view. You want to remember that loneliness is usually at the root of many, many problems, especially in the problems that strong-willed boys will present. All of those behaviors you're seeing, they are symptoms often of a child feeling unheard and feeling disconnected. So for those of you who have watched my Boy Mom Method workshop in the past, we ran it in January. We talked a lot about loneliness and what the impact of that is. I'm going to be running that workshop again in April, starting April 25th. I'm going to be releasing the sign up for that coming soon. And in that program, what we do is we really go through why don't bribes and threats work? Basically, we talk about how to share power with your child, how to collaborate on problem solving, and we talk about how to set him up for success. And if you're interested in finding out more about that, in working privately with me, or learning about my small group coaching programs, please reach out to me. I'm happy to set up a one-on-one consultation with any one of you. I usually meet in the afternoons, but I can be flexible. So get on a call with me, message me here in this thread if you want to jump on a call, or private message me. And if you have another question, a follow-up question, or a separate question completely, go ahead and put it in this thread or anywhere in Facebook so that I see it, and I'll add it to my list of questions to answer in these Q&As. Hope that's helpful. Take care, everybody.